Hey everybody, it's Jason Blaha here, and once again it is time for a dynamic effort lower day, but a quick reminder for those of you who watch these videos, please remember to click like down below, be greatly appreciated. Alright, and today we didn't do box squats. We came in and we just did deep back squats. And as you guys will see when I get to the side views, they're pretty deep. We're going nice and deep, being explosive, and looking at that, the fact that I easily high barred, narrow stance squatted 5'11" on the safety bar the other day. I think that's what I'm going to do. And I'm not going to worry about a lot of this stuff. Let's just get stronger, get strong at just straight up back squatting, not worry about power squatting. I have healthy knees. I have massive hamstrings. I have short femurs. I can get away with it. It's like I'm closed grip benching. We're going to do a nice narrow stance on the conventional deadlift. I'm going to walk into meets for the next year and we're going to try this. Now, I might experiment with some other stuff here and there just to see where they are. But I'm going to put the focus on this, and that means I do need to make sure the quads are a little stronger. Need to keep that upper back strong, right? So we'll continue to do the belt squats. I'm going to continue to do sled drags. But we'll get to the belt squats in a minute. I found it a little hard to get much volume on them because I'm doing sled drags again. I'm sled dragging several days a week now. My quads do get a little fatigued, so they can only handle so much volume, and that's okay. Also notice I'm wearing powerlifting swag. Here's why. I want to be in that mindset, right? Everything will be nice and color coordinated, but I want to be in that mindset of we're getting ready for meets. We're getting for meets for this federation. We're getting ready for worlds. I'm going to get more and more serious with competition. I'm going to probably come in and blow away, hopefully, my last total by 100 pounds. Okay? I want to get a world record total and the world record deadlift. So, again, the way the bench has gone, I don't think that's unreasonable. Plus, you guys have seen me deadlift 40 pounds more than my last meet and just hold it easily, like it was nothing. So, we're going to keep with the winning style speed pulls and squats and everything. So Speedwork's going to be using kind of some of his ideas as far as the percentages go. I've had a lot of luck with my clients doing this, right? I've experimented with heavier versus really, really light speed work against the bands and chains, and my lifters just recover so much faster and they get just as strong. So I'm going to do the same thing, right? And admit it, I'm looking jacked there, guys. You can deny it all you want, haters. All right, so we did 6 doubles on each of those. Knocked them out nice and quick. Then I went over, just did 3 by 10 on the Good Mornings. I went up 10 pounds from last time. I need to start bringing this up. But I'm also trying to not overload my axial loading. So as much as I would love to do 5 sets of the Good Mornings, I'd love to build up and do it. I also need to think about recovery. If I need the extra low back work, we can always do more reverse hypers. Okay, we need to get the most bang for our buck out of this and still recover, because my training volumes themselves are getting, higher, particularly with the GPP and stuff in there. You have to think in those terms, and in a small calorie deficit at the moment, I'm trying to lose weight going in. So we need to not compromise recovery, right? We need to not compromise recovery, which means I need to limit these, I think, about 3 sets, because they are an axial loading movement, and I am pretty strong at them. I mean, on this one, I'm not with this bar, but with the other bar, and I will be working it in, I am pretty strong. Although, I mean, realistically, where would we like to be on this bar? I'd like to be doing 315 for sets of 10 with this bar. Set that as a long term. I'd like to be doing 405 with a cambered bar for 10. Okay. I'd like to get that cambered bar up to 600 on a max. Get strong at the Good Mornings. You will never miss a squat lockout. Never miss it. This time on these, again, 3 by 10, and my quads were just destroyed. And I took the stance in a little narrower with each set. Again, keeping with the fact of the way I'm now squatting at the moment. And, we could argue about hips and adductors, but all that's getting a lot of work for me, right? Adductors still, on a normal Olympic squat, adductors still grow more than quads. But my quads were just feeling it on these. They were feeling it big time. And I think it's because of the depth we're hitting. All right. We've been hitting pretty deep squats and everything. But again, I can only do so much of the really deep work. We need to get just an optimal amount of volume and then chill, because we're still getting a hypertrophic response from the sled work for just building the quads and the adductors and everything. So I need to watch how much of the deep stuff I do. But we do need to do enough of it to hypertrophy the fibers involved with that. But I feel like for now, 3 sets is a good sweet spot. It's fatiguing, but it's not burying me, and I'm not going to be hurting later. So again, we put the real volume into stuff like the glute ham raises, reverse hypers, which we did. That's why, again, we did the speed work, which went really well, not fatiguing. A little out of breath. I'm a little out of shape. It's another reason I need to keep doing the sled drags. I'm not as in good of condition as I was a few months ago. All right, we need to sort that. Need to get that GPP back up. Also help me lose some body weight and body fat. And mainly it's about losing body fat now, going back in, because if it's body fat I'm losing and I have lots of muscle and glycogen, not a big deal to cut that. I did over 20 pounds last water cut very successfully. Right? And people can hate all they want, but they can't deny the knowledge and skill that it takes to do that. Went from 220 down to 197. Made weight. Still broke a state deadlift record that, of course, got broke by another guy. But we're going to do better. We're going to do better. I will beat that guy at Worlds, though. There is no way he can total what I can at this point. Can't do it. So, in it to win it, baby. So, we put the real volume now into the glute ham raises, reverse hypers. I ended up doing 5 sets of 10 on the glute ham raises on this fairly difficult setting, and while wearing shoes still. The shoes make it a little harder, so I left them on. Leaving my Chuck Taylors on. And yes, I have quite a few pairs of those. Funny people are like, oh, I'm not used to seeing you in Chucks. I'm like, I wear Chucks on every workout. What are you guys talking about? They're just solid black. These just have white accents. And I've got 2 of the solid black ones, and I have my navy and white ones too, which you guys have seen, I think, once or twice on camera. But those are the ones I've been wearing at meet. But the sidewall's busted a little bit, and I might need to replace them. Or just wear the black ones. Either way. Yeah, because of the really wide squatting I was doing, I busted them already, I think, at the first meet. It started coming apart. Not first meet, the second meet, because I've worn them at 2 meets now. So, 5 sets of 10 on the glute ham raises. Build my hamstrings. Building the hamstrings. And then we do a bunch of reverse hypers. And again, the reverse hypers really, I feel like, are the most important lift for my deadlift. Okay, they're the most important lift for my deadlift. Well, I would say the good mornings probably are the best movement for bringing my squat up. They do help with deadlifts too. Good mornings do a lot for squatting for me. There's a ton for my squatting strength. And I feel like the reverse hypers carry over to the deadlift. Some people are like, well, why the GHRs then? Well, because it's the best hamstring exercise. It's about injury prevention. It's about having thicker hamstrings. So they're less likely to get hurt on the deadlift. They are a primary mover. But those thicker hamstrings, now that I'm going deep on those squats with that narrower stance, the thicker I can get my hamstrings, the more bounce I can use out of those sleeves out of the bottom. All right, reverse hypers, we did our 540 again. We did 6 by 10 instead of 5 by 10. All right, and I ended up doing like an extra rep on the last set. Now, the other thing is some people don't like the way I do my reverse hypers. They comment, and I'm going to give one of my standard lines. Nobody cares what you think. If you're not lifting more than me and your clients aren't lifting more than me and my clients, I'm not really interested. Keep that in mind, guys. I'm not really interested. And I do have people who follow who do lift more than me. But are they younger, heavier, maybe more gear? I don't know. But they're definitely oftentimes younger and heavier. Well, that matters. And they're not coaching anyone. So they might have done really well for themselves. But I always remind you, it's what can you do with your clients also. Hey, this is where the knowledge is. Maybe a person could have really good genetics, and with the right drugs, they get phenomenal results in themselves. Doesn't mean they know how to coach other people. Right? And just because they claim they're natty, that doesn't mean anything. That doesn't mean anything today. Everybody claims they're natty. I know plenty of guys who use lots of gear who walk around claiming they're natty when people ask. And then when we start talking marketing, different world. So nobody cares. Like, that's the thing. No one really cares. People care about what you can do. And that is the truth. Right? That's the truth. Natty is nothing more than a claim, a status you choose to give yourself, how you identify to the public. It's really all it means. It doesn't indicate whether you use anything. It's just a claim. Unsubstantiated. So back over to the reverse hypers. I feel these give me the best carryover to my deadlift. Phenomenal exercise. We can do lots of volume and still recover from it. And that's the most important part, is the restoration aspect offsets a lot of the fatigue that it generates. So it allows us to do higher workloads, unlike some of these other movements, like say maybe the Good Mornings, which can accumulate fatigue fairly quickly. Not quite as bad as a squat or a deadlift though, but it can accumulate fast. All right, guys, but that's really all I have to say on that today. I hope it's been informative, and I'll talk to you guys next time.